She gets further into her career at Boston College, but just in her second year, she's doing a dynamite job. Contact, but Lewis will drive it in on the first bucket of the game, scored by the fourth-year junior out of Chicago for Syracuse. And Enxler pulling down the rebound. She's one of the best in the conference, especially on the defensive end. Syracuse will shoot threes more than anyone in this conference, coming in at staggering 766 three-point attempts. Add another try right there, 100 plus more than the next team in the conference. Boston College, first bucket in nearly 2 minutes, delivered by Marnell Gerard, the sophomore out of Lynn, Massachusetts. Guy able to get out of traffic. Cameron Schwartz, known for just that, the Colorado transfer, has really had an up-and-down campaign. She'd struggled throughout most of ACC, but that could be big today if she can get heated up from afar. Number 5 for BC, this guy over the bench with 2 fouls. Rejection inside. Nice job close to the basket by Whisper Fisher defensively. Enxler, she knocked one down from there just a bit ago and rattles one home that time.
This is a game within a game. It is a long ball event. And I'm loving the attitude from both teams. We've seen a couple hits and a little bit of swag. Both teams looking bad at each other. Here it is, inside out. That was off an offensive rebound in the corner. There you go, another one.
It began with all kinds of momentum early for Boston College. Joanna Burnaby-McNabee's team scored 9 quick, but Syracuse has battled back. We expect quite the shootout here in Syracuse this afternoon. We've got it so far.
I wrote
the final event. Once we're done here today, they close the doors and will begin the roof replacement, and then progressively they're going to do other things. They say in their announcement it's going to enhance the stadium experience in this nearly 40-year-old building. Just into the game and making an impact, Maeva Jaldi-Tamdi with her first effort. It's off the inbound. Cooper from the right wing, not going to go for her, but there's Lewis. Lewis quick off the dribble. We've seen an example of that so far today. Looking to penetrate. Soul got a hand on it. Jaldi-Tamdi. Boy, she is tough to stop at 6'2", the native of Paris.
With Automower.
It is a roof inflated by air, but when they remove it and put the new one on, it'll be a much different type of style, and it's no longer going to be air inflated. You see they've already gotten the cranes up, the WD-40 is out, and they're ready to go to work. Once things get done here today, it'll be a major construction site as they do a major overhaul over the next few years of this nearly 40-year-old facility. You see some of the notable points. $26.85 million is not going to buy you a dome these days, but back in the late 70s and 1980 when they were building it to a capacity of nearly 50,000 for football.
Come set the ball screen.
A strong drive to the bucket won't go that time for Lewis. Gets her own rebound and one. Against pressure into the front court, Gerard. She'll pull up. And Cooper scrapping for the rebound. Lewis front court. Chance to get within one once more, or maybe tie on the heave from Cooper. Under 15 to play in the half. BC was led by as many as 11, down by 2. Pinot lob for Soul. Off the pump fake. She'll get it to go, and we will arrive at halftime right back where we were at tip-off. Back and forth kind of first half we expected. Both teams sizzling from the field in the opening quarter especially. At the break this year, Syracuse when tied 1-0. Boston College this season 1-0 when tied at the half. It's 45 all here in the Dome.
Now with 5G.
Syracuse, New York. Well, it is the first day of March, but very much still winter in this central New York City, and we've got ourselves quite the ball game. 45 all in the venerable Carrier Dome, yes, in its splendor and its glory, and and the very replica they're giving away to the fans today. Big enough to put a whole bunch of Christmas cookies in. Quite the impressive souvenir to take home.
It is, but you know what? If we were playing in that roof would be blown off already with the three-point shooting, at least the way it started in that first quarter. It's been a fun half of basketball. Of course, we're tied.
A couple of teams that obviously want to make their fair share of threes, but Syracuse, that's kind of been more of their brand. But Boston College, red hot by their standards from afar so far. Michaela Dickens, a sophomore, off to a good start with 10 points in the opening half, and really on target from beyond the arc.
Yeah, she was hitting long, and this was the first possession of the game, so she set the tone early. But aside from the 11 points, she's also got 4 rebounds and 5 assists. So she's really, with the ball in her hand, she's picking apart a Syracuse zone defense, and that is definitely consistent play they need from her in the second half.
And interestingly, Syracuse, the team that has shot over 100 more threes than any team in the ACC, they really kind of started to turn things in the second quarter by attacking points in the paint. They lead significantly in that category. Emily Engster, you can call her kind of their Swiss Army knife. She does a lot of things on both ends of the court.
Yeah, including the long ball. She hit a couple as well. She is perfect. 2 for 2 from long range. 6 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks in just over in 16 minutes. So she's played some minutes, but she's produced. This is a sophomore. She looks like she's a senior. She is a sophomore here for the Orange, and there, look at the authority. That's what I love. I love when you're a big and you get in that paint and you say, not in my house.
Engster, one of the most highly regarded recruits ever come to the Syracuse women's program in her sophomore year. She's really grown in her role. You see the numbers so far, impressive in a lot of areas.
Yeah, and I mean, that rebounding, Syracuse. Listen, Boston College is one of the better rebounding teams in the Atlantic Coast Conference, and Syracuse did a really good job, especially with that slower start offensively, hitting the glass, generating some possessions, and starting to pick apart and find the shots that they want on the offensive end.
Fast break point, you saw a big disparity for Boston College. We'll see it. The Eagles are able to get out and run in the second half. Well, it's the final Sunday. In fact, this is the final game of the ACC regular season on the women's side. When we come back, we'll take you around the ACC as we're rolling in to the tournament this week. Back to Syracuse and the Carrier Dome after this. Purchase your tournament tickets. Visit Ticketmaster.com. The 20th year of the Greensboro Coliseum, the most of any venue that has been the host for the ACC tourney. With Amy Audebert, Pete Hannity back with you courtside. It's going to be an exciting tournament this year. I mean, you've got as much balance in this league, especially beyond Louisville, maybe NC State, as I think we've seen in a while, teams 3 through about 7 or 8.
When we woke up this morning, that bracket was not set. And I mean, this has come down to today. These teams are the Atlantic Coast Conference. Of course, I'm a little bit biased being alumni, but I do believe it's the best in the country, if not top 2. And so you get to March, there's not one team that finished this regular season with a perfect record. Every single team has dropped a ball game at some point. And so when you go into March, everyone's 0-0, and I think that's the most important thing. You get on that plane and you get to North Carolina, every team is 0-0 with the amount of parity that we've seen in the last couple months. I couldn't tell you. I don't have a crystal ball, and I don't know. I don't know who's going to walk away with that one.
To that point, Syracuse 15-13 coming in today. They feel like if they can win today and then have success in the tourney, they might set themselves up for an at-large bid based on their schedule. Kiera Lewis is going to fight in the second half to try to achieve that. We're back after this. Soule, left wing Ortler. And Soule battling. That's another rebound to her day. Dickens, 4-2 at his bounce, a pretty feed, and a chance for a three-point play as Taylor Soule will once again shoot free throws. Troubled with fouls in the opening half. Ortliff scrapping in to get the loose ball. Schwartz will try it from outside. And the beat goes on from downtown for the Eagles. A 10th made 3 of the game. Boston College came in hitting just 30% of their three-pointers. You got to think that the sophomore Girard was really getting ready for this battle against Lewis as she hits the deck, and Lewis finds an opening and finds a feed inside. Jaldi Tabdi. 4.2. Long inbound pass. Girard, the pull-up. And it won't fall, and that's how our third quarter comes to an end. Tight times in this final game in the Carrier Dome before they give it a new roof and a big-time paint job. We head to the fourth at 64 apiece.
That blocking pad in the gym, you see the nice rhythm in Finkley with their back to the basket.
Well, Maya Finkley had a dozen against BC, but she's been relatively quiet today. How about Taylor Soule? Truly the go-to player.
Just smart, not hard. There's a difference. And you look at the efficiency on the court when she's there. They've done just a fine job.
Soule head of steam to the basket. Somehow she got it over the rim. Ortlep will fire. She has come up big today early on and right there, and it's an 8-point game. Taylor Ortlep just 13% beyond the arc. She had really struggled this year, but she has been big today. Talk about the future that Syracuse has, a bright one. BC, a bright future too. And another big win on the road here in this 2019 and 20 season. A day in which they were efficient. 23 assists on their 29 made baskets. We saw ourselves a heck of a battle throughout, but in the end, Joanna Burnaby-McNamee and the Boston College Eagles come away with the 88-81 win. They finish 6th in the conference standings, and the Syracuse Orange will finish 8th. Boston College picks 13th. And now, as you see what the ACC tournament bracket will look like beginning Wednesday in Greensboro, and in that right-hand column, Syracuse will play Virginia. BC awaits the winner of Miami and Clemson.
Yeah, everyone can take a deep breath now. Here we are. It's set. But if you're Boston College, I mean, you've got to feel so good about the position you've put yourself in, clinching that 6th seed. Don't forget, picked 13th at the beginning of the year. You're Syracuse. Hey, you've got some good stuff, too, on your resume, and you're going to play a Virginia team that you've been successful against. Both teams, a couple days, do a little bit of work.
Boston College's 18th win of the year. They go to 18-11 and finish 11-7 in the ACC. Syracuse 15-14 now, 9-9 in the conference. A moment of, well, sentimentality too. The final event in the Dome before it gets a makeover. And on behalf of Amy Audebert, Pete Hannity saying so long.